Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector and I'm back. I've got some pickups here. We're through the first week of November and haven't had a ton of time. This first week has been a blur, but I did get around to getting some pickups, and I'm still following my method of collecting that I started getting into when I did that week of game hunting, which is I'll visit a thrift store maybe once or twice throughout the week, and then there are a couple retro game stores that I try to get around to at least once or twice a week. Some of them I pass on my daily routing. And then also for those niche games, for those hard to find games, or just the games that I know that I'm not going to find in like a local Goodwill or thrift store, those are the ones that I'll kind of pick at online, especially if I can find them sealed. So I've talked a lot about some of the success or lack of success I've had at local thrift stores and Goodwills. And so I figured I'd just share some of the actual goodness that I was able to get this week. A lot of the pickups that you're going to see here are pickups that I was able to afford by selling a lot of the extras that I got during my week of video game hunting. And I talked about that in one of my videos. Whenever you go game hunting or you buy lots, you always get a bunch of extra, a bunch of filler, a bunch of shovelware, or just games that you could bundle together and sell online. And then you just stack up the extra 10, the extra 5, the extra 20, 25, and until eventually you get a budget that you can take and go buy some big box titles or some maybe more some high-end games that you probably wouldn't want to spend just your raw dollars on. So I'm not going to do too much jabbering or blabbering. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it, and I'm actually going to start this video off with some of the filler titles that I was able to pick up this week. And these first 6 games I was able to get at a local thrift store for a really great price. The first one is one that I've never played and I don't have it, and it's on the PS2, and this is Fantavision on the PlayStation 2. Never played this before. This is not an expensive game by any means, but it looks like a puzzle kind of strategy type game. So you gotta detonate them and blow them up, and it's one of those really exciting, like bright, colorful, I think puzzle type games. Don't know too much about this one, but I saw it there. This was $2. Went ahead and grabbed it on the PS2. Here's another one that I'm actually adding back to the collection. I sold this early in my PlayStation collecting days, and for some reason I kept Jak 2 and the first Jak, but I sold Jak 3. Well, I was actually able to find it again today for $2, and I went ahead and picked that up. So pretty clean copy. All of these are complete in box with the manual. It's weird because the inside of the cases look a little bit better than the outside. But again, Jak action, that's like an action adventure game, 3D on the PS2. Very fun. Jak and Daxter series is a very popular series. Was also able to snag up some Wii stuff. So we got Surf's Up. This looks like a pretty fun kind of like action water sports game. Ubisoft, cool stuff. This one is cool for the kiddies, and I do have a daughter, so I'm trying to kind of keep some of these types of games in my collection for when she's ready to get going in her own video game journey, so she can have some age appropriate stuff. I don't want to start her off with like Silent Hill or Castlevania at 4 years old. That wouldn't be too smart. All right, next one up is another cool one. This is more filler. So this is Silver Surfer, or Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, action adventure game. This is by 2K, which is actually pretty interesting. Never played this one either. Barely even heard of this game, to be honest with you, but saw this at the thrift store. Again, all of these were about $2, so I went ahead and got that. So got that on the Wii, and then y'all know that I'm collecting for the Wii U. So Angry Birds Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of Angry Birds, but I'll play it. And this is one, again, $2. Trying to get these for the kiddo. So these are real cheap, real easy. And if I'm gonna buy games like this, I'm definitely not really paying more than $2 for them. So pretty cool. Got that there. And then last but not least, I have a low-key passion for tennis, and I really like tennis games. So When I saw that they had this there for $1, went ahead and got the Virtua Tennis 3 on there. So pretty cool on the 360. Got that. Added that to collection, another $1 game. So that kind of takes us through some of the, I guess, shovelware and some of the more filler titles that I actually was able to pick up this week. Now we're going to go ahead and transition into a game that I had mentioned during one of my other pickup videos, but didn't get to show it. And this is on the PSP. So this is Blade Dancer. This is one that I was able to get using some trade-in credit as well. Pretty cool NIS RPG on the PSP. Don't pick up a ton of games for the PSP anymore, but when I do spot them, I grab them. So this is like an action. I think this is an action RPG. Not super sure. I don't remember exactly, but this is a cool one. You could always YouTube it, look up some game footage. I tend to do that a lot, especially if it's a game I've never played before. I like to see the footage, see how the game plays, and then make my final decision from there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and transition into the a couple more handheld pickups. So I was able to get my hands on a couple Game Boy Advanced and also some Nintendo DS's. So I've been actually looking into some games for those handhelds, and one that I was able to snag up sealed. This is where the online pickups come in. Mega Man ZX Advent sealed on the Nintendo DS. This was about $25, so not too bad on the DS. Pretty fun, colorful. We all know what Mega Man's about, action adventure. This one looks like it has more of like an RPG feel to it. So pretty excited about this one on the, as I said, on the Nintendo DS. So that's a pretty cool one there. You got Mega Man ZX Advent. And then another side-scrolling hack and slash kind of adventure game. You know I'm all about this. This is The Legend of Cage. This is by Taito on the Nintendo DS. So this looks pretty cool too. Pretty stoked about having this one in the collection. If you look at it, you'll see it's real colorful, some colorful sprites, got that whole 16-bit feel. So pretty stoked about getting this one on the Nintendo DS. Now we're going to go ahead and transition into the Game Boy Advanced pickups, because I did have some of those as well. And these are also sealed, so you can get a lot of these games for around $25. First one up is Wolverine's Revenge on the Game Boy Advanced. Little Hugh Jackman there staring you in the face. So that's a pretty cool one. Again, kind of that whole side-scrolling 16-bit feel, if you could see that there. I'm trying to get the glare out of the camera, but you know, I'm all about stuff like this, you know, that whole side-scrolling platforming beat 'em up type style. I love that on this channel. I love that in my collection. Next one up is Advanced Guardian Heroes. I have this game on the Sega Saturn. This is one of my favorite games. The original Guardian Heroes on the Sega Saturn is one of my favorite side-scrolling beat-em-up games. It's a game where you can add skill points and different attributes to the character that you choose to play the game with. It has multiple endings. You can play, I think, with up to 6 people at a time. It has combos and air combos and special moves. I mean, if you like games like that, the original one of the Sega Saturn is like a holy grail for that type of gameplay, but this is a great handheld version, Advanced Guardian Heroes, and I was able to pick that up sealed on the Game Boy Advanced. Next one up is a shoot 'em up, or a shmup as I like to call them, and that's Danny Phantom. You wouldn't think that this is a shoot 'em up, but this is actually a pretty fun looking shoot 'em up. Was able to get this on the Game Boy Advanced as well, and this is kind of more that side-scrolling kind of shoot 'em up action, right? So he's got his little power-ups, you fly through, blasting your way through, and this is pretty tight on the Game Boy Advance. So that's another pickup that I got there. Then I'm going to fly through some loose Game Boy Advance pickups that I was able to get, which I'm excited about. First one up is the X-Men Rise of Apocalypse. So I picked that up on the Game Boy Advanced. The next one that I picked up was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. So this was a cool one that I got on the Game Boy Advanced. And then also was able to get Danny Phantom, the other Danny Phantom. This one is the Loose, the Ultimate Enemy. Got this on the Game Boy Advance Loose. And then a couple pretty cool ones. I'll save the last one because I'm going to go over this last bundle pickup that I made, which I was pretty stoked about. But I was also able to get a clean copy of Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. This is so expensive, and if I didn't have the trade credit, I wouldn't have really got this, but this is a very fun looking game. Symphony of the Night is also another one of my favorite Metroidvania type games, and this just looked exquisite on the Advanced, and so I went ahead and picked that up. And then the last thing that I'm going to show is super cool because I never thought that I would actually get this. But yes, folks, I went ahead and picked up a Nintendo GameCube. And, you know, I wasn't super huge on the GameCube, but there's a specific reason why I picked it up. And I'm going to try to get this in the camera here. But if you look here at the bottom of this GameCube here, you'll see that there is I got to hold this different. This is so heavy. Hang on. I'm trying to hold this with one hand. But if you'll look, the GameCube that I bought, it came with a separate screen attached. So I went ahead and picked this up at my local retro game store. And if you look at the bottom, that is called that's called a Game Boy Advanced game reader. So I bought this as a bundle, and it came with a little screen on it. It came with the adapter, all the hookups, one controller. And then it also came with this little bad boy, which I thought was pretty cool. Double Dragon. It was sold as a bundle. Now, this was like everything that I got in this whole bundle wound up coming out to winds up being close to around $400 in value, because what I got along with the GameCube, the screen, and the Game Boy Advance player was this little doohickey. Because you can't do much with that whole setup without this. And this is the Game Boy or the Nintendo GameCube boot disc. You need this disc to play those Game Boy Advance games on your GameCube. Obviously, unless you jailbreak it or you do some kind of homebrew type method. But this is very necessary for playing Game Boy Advance games on your GameCube. And because of my whole new attention towards the Game Boy Advanced, that is something that I definitely got into. And that does it. I know I kind of blew through that kind of fast, but had a lot of pickups, had some shovelware, a little mix of shovelware, had some gems in there, a surprise GameCube in there, and I'm really stoked about that because the GameCube was one of the first consoles I got when I was in high school. I didn't get many, but I definitely got a GameCube, and I played Star Fox on that. I thought it was pretty cool to have a Star Fox open world adventure game. So, you know, I'll be excited to see what else I can get on the GameCube. It doesn't have a huge library that I'm into, but there are some gems on there. And I was happy that I was able to get that bundle. Won't say how much I spent, but I will say that when it all boiled down to it, that Double Dragon wound up costing me roughly around 40 to 50 bucks, which is pretty good for Double Dragon because that's a very expensive game right now. Again, don't know why some of these Game Boy Advance games are so expensive, but some of them are. But let me know what you picked up this week. I know Sunday or Saturday is usually a heavy pickup day. I know everyone likes to kind of put their videos out, but let me know what you were able to pick up. Let me know if you're into any new consoles or systems, because it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a collector. Well, I am the Y2K Collector, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Take it easy.